always feel your traps when doing lateral raises? You're destroying your shoulders 5 times a week, but you're still fitting in your girlfriend's clothes? You want to have those huge coconut deltoids filled with the tears of your enemies? Yeah, I think we all do, and that's exactly why we're here. So sit comfortably, grab your favorite protein juice, sip it casually, and let me tell you everything you need to know. What's up guys, welcome to this new video. Today is gonna be all about shoulders and more specifically the side delt. First, let's review a little bit of the anatomy. So the delt is inserted on the side of the humerus and it's going up to 3 main positions. First, the clavicles, the acromion, and the spine of the scapula. For our case, the side delt is mainly inserted on the acromion. That is why this muscle is responsible for the abduction of the arms. To isolate a muscle, that is the case for every muscle. One of the insertions needs to be fixed to let the other do the movement. So in our case, obviously we're gonna fix the acromion so that the arms can do the movement. So when I see all those advice on arm path or going to the ends to recruit better the delts, but I feel like nobody is really talking about the fixing of the scapula on your body before even doing a rep. And I say that by experience. For a long time I was only thinking about my arms going up and didn't pay attention to my core, to my scapula, to my shoulders. Is it fixed enough or not? If I have the strength, the core strength to stabilize my body while I'm doing those lateral raises. That is, I think, a lot of questions you should ask yourself before even trying this exercise. I'm gonna explain all of that while I'm getting ready, and then we're gonna go to the actual gym and see those exercises in action so you can see what it looks like. I remember when I started lifting, I used to do 2 specific sessions on the week for my shoulders. So I was doing like 4 sets on every exercise, and it was like 5 exercises only for shoulders. 2 times a week, that's a lot of sets. And I was also adding all the methods possible to increase the intensity, drop set, superset, and whatever I could think of to destroy completely my shoulders. So looking back at it, I know that my form was not very good, and I know that I didn't feel the shoulders as I am now. So it was a lot of junk volume, because even if my shoulders grow a little bit, they didn't really have a choice. What makes the difference from that time versus now is that I'm doing pretty much 3 times less volume, even 4 times I would say. But I work on form, I work on intensity, and I make sure that the muscle I want to target is the muscle that I feel in each and every set. So I'm able to grow my shoulders with 3 times less volume, spending less time in the gym and being less fatigued overall. So that is a good point, and you should work on that. The first exercise we're going to talk about is, of course, the one and only lateral raises. So what you must know about the lateral raises is that the most mechanical tension is going to be when the arms is fully parallel to the ground. So when the delt is almost fully contracted at the end of the rep, and there is almost no tension at the end, at the bottom of the rep. So this is a good thing to know. And now that we know that the stretch part is the most ideal for muscle growth, there's a lot of study about it. So lateral raises may not be the ideal exercise if you want to grow your side delts. That doesn't mean you shouldn't do it, because I really like this exercise. I have a really good feeling on it. It just means that if you are doing only one exercise for your side delts, maybe try something else. And when you're doing this exercise, you got to think about the rest of your body and be as fixed as possible. So you need to stabilize your whole body before even moving your arms. Make sure your glutes is engaged, your core is engaged, that your shoulders are back and your traps are in the neutral position. So keep your shoulder in neutral position, try to fix your traps so that your shoulders remain in the same position. Then think about moving your wrist on the side rather than up. So move your hands on the side. Don't try to go too high, because if you reach that point when your delt is fully contracted, the only way up is by your traps. So don't think about moving too much upwards, but more outwards with your wrist. Try to keep the elbow fixed in position also. Don't go too heavy on this exercise. Try really to feel the muscle before going up in weight. Pre-workout, caffeine and all of that, and a little bit of nectarine to have just because I like it. So, second exercise is going to be the cable raises. You can choose the height of the cable. That is a really good thing, and it will change the line of force. Before with dumbbells, of course, the line of force is going to be gravity related to the leverage of your arm. Now that we are using cable, the line of force is going to be the cable itself. So you can choose the height, the appropriate height, so that you feel more in the stretch position. I usually set it up so that the cable is parallel to the ground when the deltoid is in a stretch position. Then also we're going to think about going outwards with the arm and not up, just outwards, so that the side delt is doing all the work. Also, like every exercise for the delts, you gotta fix your shoulder in position and then move the arms until you feel it burn. It might be a little bit awkward to have a full range of tension. At least I feel that the movement is a little bit awkward sometimes. Sometimes I feel it, sometimes I don't. Which brings us to the third exercise, which is my favorite at the moment. It is a lateral raises, but lying on a bench and doing it one arm at a time. So you're gonna grab the dumbbell, fit your shoulder in position, you're gonna lie on the bench. The bench is gonna be either flat or slightly angled. I like to keep it at 30-degree angle so that I can really fix myself onto the bench and then thinking only about my arms doing the movement. And with this exercise, all the mechanical tension, which is going to be gravity again with dumbbells, is going to be when the delts, when the fibers are the most stretched. So really good for hypertrophy. And trust me, you're going to go really low in weight. So start off with the smallest dumbbell you have in your gym. Try not to go on the full range of motion. There's no tension here, so keep moving up as long as you feel it, and then going up as slow as possible to really feel it. So you can go with the arm as low as you can, as long as your shoulders, which is fixed, as long as your traps is not letting your shoulders down. So keep it up, let your arms go as low as you can without letting your traps relaxed, and then go to the rep again. Now that I'm good to go and that I talk about those three exercises, come with me and we're gonna see those three exercises in action at the gym. Let's go. Just arrived at the gym, so just before going, I didn't talk about rep range or sets or anything like that. For those exercises, which is gonna be purely isolation, I tend to do more higher rep range, so shooting to 8 to 12, 8 at minimum. But why is that? So the research have shown that basically no matter the amount of rep you're gonna do, as long as you get close to failure or to complete failure, you will build muscle. But that is in theory, and we all know that in practice, usually things tend to be a little bit different. And I think this is something that is lacking, and people talk about this in social media, is we don't take in consideration that this is in theory when the muscle you want to target is purely doing the work. In practice, that's usually not the case. So in isolation, let's say you're doing 5 reps on lateral raises. How can you say certainly that the traps were not helping you a little bit, or 3 of those 5 reps? Maybe 3, maybe 4, maybe just 1. But it is always impossible to really isolate a muscle completely. So when I say to do higher rep range, this is just a way of letting the body get an easier time. By going to failure with higher rep range, you're gonna take a lighter weight, and the lighter weight is gonna be easier for your whole body overall to keep you in position. For example, your traps are gonna have a easier time keeping your shoulders in the same position while your arm is doing all the work, and you can go, and it's gonna be easier to go to complete failure on that targeted muscle. So I think this is why we should do higher rep range on isolation, because it is easier for all the muscle around your body to stabilize yourself, and you can really put all your focus on the muscle you want to target and go to complete failure and ultimately make your muscle grow, because this is the ultimate goal. Now that this is clear, or at least clear enough, we're gonna get to the gym, we're gonna destroy the shoulders. So, end of the session here was pretty good. So yeah, that is basically all I wanted to say today. I hope that this was clear enough, even the rep range part. It is sometimes a little bit difficult to me to dive a little more in details into a subject in English, because it's not my first language, obviously. But I hope it made sense. I hope you learned something. Implement those exercises into your routine. Build those huge shoulders that we all want also. And like I said, if you want me to do another video on the front delt, on the real delt specifically, just let me know in the comments. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, leave a thumbs up. Of course, subscribe if you want to see the other videos. And I'll see you guys in the next one.